Must there be at least one Friday the 13th in every year? We're only going to think about years that are not leap years. We're going to use division with remainder to figure this out. And they give us a hint, like, okay, let's assume January 13th falls on a Monday. What day of the week is every other 13th of the month? And see, like, is there a Friday? And then we have to repeat that whole process 7 times. What if January 13th is a Tuesday? What if it's a Wednesday? So we're going to have to do this 7 times. Okay. So it might be helpful to organize our work in a table. All right, so I'm going to start with January 13th is a Monday. Okay. And I want to figure out what day of the week February 13th is. So I need to know how many days have gone by between January 13th and February 13th. So there are 31 days in January, and we do 31 minus 13, and we get 18 days. So there's 18 days left in January, plus 13 more days in February. That's 31 days. Okay, so we're going to add 31 days to January 13th. That would get us to February 13th. Okay, so 31 days, but I would like to know that in groups of 7 in order to figure out the days of the week, how many weeks have gone by and how many days. So we do 31 divided by 7, and we get 4 weeks with 3 days left over. So this is 4 weeks, 28 days, plus 3 more days to get to 31. Which means that if January 13th was a Monday, February 13th is 3 days later than that, right? Because we'll have 4 weeks later, it will be a Monday again, and then there's 3 more days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So February 13th is a Thursday. All right, and then to get to March 13th, let's see how many days. So there are 28 days in February. So 28 minus 13 is 15 more days. So there's 15 more days in February plus 13 days of March to get to the 13th. So that's 28 days. Okay, and 28 days is exactly 4 weeks. So this is 4 weeks and 0 days. So it's going to be Thursday again. All right, so now I'm working my way towards April 13th. Okay, I got to figure out how many days have elapsed between March 13th and April 13th. So March has 31 days. So 31 minus 13 is 18 days. And then add 13 more days for April, and we get 31 days. Okay, so 31 days, which we know is 4 weeks and 3 days. So we need to advance our day of the week from Thursday, move that 3 days forward. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and then I'm going to figure out the day of the week that May 13th is. So 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So April only has 30 days, which means that the 13th to the 30th, after the 13th until the 30th, there are 17 days. And so then 13 days of May makes 30 days. So this is 30 days, which is 4 weeks and 2 days. So I'm going to move my day of the week forward 2 days. So Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday. I'm working on June. So May has 31 days. So this is plus 31, which is 4 weeks and 3 days. So I'm going to move my day of the week forward by 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I found a Friday the 13th. Okay. I don't have to finish this year because I now know that if the first 13th of the year is a Monday, there will be a Friday the 13th. It will happen in June. Okay, but now I need to repeat this process where I ask, what if January 13th is actually a Tuesday? Okay, I've already done most of the work here, so I know I need to get to February 13th. I have to advance the day of the week by 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I found it. I found a Friday the 13th. So I don't have to do any more in this scenario. This kind of a year has a Friday the 13th. Okay, let's look at what if January 13th is a Wednesday. Okay, I know that February 13th is 4 weeks and 3 days later. So I advance my day of the week by 3 days. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then to get to March, I know from my work up here that because February has 28 days, which is exactly 4 weeks, my day of the week is not going to change from February to March. Okay, and then April, from March to April. So from March to April, I have to advance my day of the week by 3 days. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, and then to get from April to May, I have to advance my day of the week by 2 days. So April to May, add 2 days. So that's Wednesday, Thursday. And then to get to June, I have to advance 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And now I have to pick up this work that I was doing earlier of figuring out how many days to advance. So June is one of the months with 30 days. So I have to add 30 days, which is 4 weeks and 2 days, which means to get to July 13th, I need to advance my day of the week by 2 days. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, and then to get to August 13th, I have to figure out how many days have gone by. So July is a month with 31 days, so plus 31 days. And that comes out to 4 weeks and 3 days. So advance my day of the week by 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I found a Friday the 13th. Okay, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to have to start a new page here. But note that I have already checked years where the first 13th of the year is a Monday, years where the first 13th of the month of the year is a Tuesday, years where the first 13th of the year is a Wednesday. All of them had a Friday the 13th in them so far. Now I need to check what if January 13th is a Thursday. We'll go on to the next slide. Okay, I started by writing down January 13th is a Thursday, and to get to February 13th, because January has 31 days, we add 31 days, which is 4 weeks and 3 days, so I'm going to advance my day of the week by 3 days, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. And then to get to March 13th, February only has 28 days, which is 4 weeks and 0 days, so I don't need to advance the day of the week at all. So this stays Sunday. Okay. And then to get to April 13th, 31 days are in March, which is 4 weeks and 3 days. So go 3 days forward from Sunday. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then April only has 30 days. So this is plus 30 days, which is 4 weeks and 2 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I found a Friday the 13th in May. Let's start the process again, where we assume that January 13th is a Friday, And we found it, right? That's a Friday the 13th. It's the first 13th of the year. Good, that one was quick. And I can move on to the next one. What if January 13th, the first 13th of the year, is a Saturday? We know that we need to go ahead 31 days or 4 weeks and 3 days. So I'm going to move the day of the week ahead by 3 days. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And there are only 28 days in February, which is exactly 4 weeks. So I don't move the day of the week to get to March 13th. It's Tuesday again. But then March has 31 days, which is 4 weeks and 3 days. So move the day of the week forward to get to April 13th. I'm going to move the day of the week forward 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Found it. We have a Friday the 13th in April. Okay, this is our last option. January 13th could fall on a Sunday. That's the last possible day of the week that we haven't discussed yet. So let's see what happens. So if January 13th is on a Sunday, we have to add 31 days to that to get to February 13th, which is 4 weeks and 3 days. So February 13th would be 3 days later, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, and then 28 days in February, which is 4 weeks and 0 days. So I do not move my day of the week forward. It's still Wednesday on March 13th. Okay, March has 31 days. So I'm going to add 31 days here, which is 4 weeks and 0 days. 4 weeks and 3 days. So to get to April 13th, we add 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, now April only has 30 days, so I add 30 days. That's 4 weeks and 2 days. So I'm going to move my day of the week forward by 2, so Sunday, Monday. Okay, May has 31 days. So that comes out to 4 weeks and 3 days to get to June 13th. So move the day of the week forward by 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And June only has 30 days, 4 weeks and 2 days. So move the day of the week forward by 2 days to get to July 13th. So that's going to be Friday, Saturday. And then I'm going to have to go to August, and I'm running out of room, so I'm going to get a new slide. But I'll do the work to figure out what goes on it right here. So July has 31 days, which is 4 weeks and 3 days. So to get to August 13th, move the day of the week forward by 3 days. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so we figured out that August 13th has to be a Tuesday. So let's figure out, what does September 13th have to be? So we have August has 31 days, which is 4 weeks and 3 days. So I'm going to move the day of the week forward 3 days from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I found it. We have a Friday the 13th in September. So that is all the options for when January 13th could start on any day of the week. No matter which one it is, we found a Friday the 13th. So all years have a Friday the 13th, or all non-leap years at least.